Hi, welcome back, guys. Today we're going to be talking about 10 myths about autism debunked by somebody with autism, i.e. me. I'm your host, Matt. Lego. Myth number 1, we can't feel emotions. This one can't be further from the truth. In fact, when it comes to my autism / leading to my depression, that was the opposite, really. There was too much emotion in my head. Still is. People with autism do experience emotion. They can feel it either similarly, the same, or completely different to that of a neurotypical somebody without autism. Because autistic or not, well, we're all human, and things will affect us all differently. Number 2, we don't like to be social with people. Again, like the first one on my list I have written off screen on my notes, this one cannot be further from the truth either. With me, and a lot of other people with autism, it was the fact that we weren't social with other people that really hurt us deep down. Humans, by and large, are a social species. That's how humanity evolved, as a social species together. That's why humans survived and became what they did as a species. Survival, teamwork, and brain, much like us autistics. But to say that people with autism don't want to be social is kind of an insult. Now, we do like our alone time. I would go nuts if I didn't have my alone time. But we still want to be social too, much like with anybody. If you don't spend time with people socially, that can and will start to hurt. We're no exception to that. Oh, before we go any further, know that the autism is caused by vaccine rumor will not be on here because that one has been disproven long ago. Our next on the list is that we lack intelligence. Boy, I love this one. We're the quote-unquote retards of society. Put it to you this way. When I went into high school, I was in 8th grade when I took this test. I was applying to a voc school, right? Actually, I applied to 2, but that's neither here nor there. I applied to one of them. I got in both, but I took a placement testing, right? For English, keep in mind I was in 8th grade at the time. I had an 11th and a half grade reading comprehension. And for science, I had a 10th grade comprehension. When I got into college, I also took another placement test, and guess how much I got for when it comes to literature? There wasn't really a science part of the test. I'm more so focusing on literature. Guess what I got? I got genius level / either high school senior English / literature comprehension. And I've never been stupid. I know part of some people's autism does affect their IQ, although fun fact, the IQ system is flawed anyway. It was actually originally racist, fun fact. Oh, listen to me ramble. But, yeah, we do not lack intelligence in the slightest. Next is that we can't find love, or be loved, or feel it for others. Same thing with the emotion and all the others on this list. This is not true in the slightest, man. Like, yes, I have autism, but also fun fact about me. Up until a year ago, over a year ago at this point, I was in a relationship with a girl for almost 2 years straight. Autistic or not, there's somebody out there for everyone, and I truly believe that. Just because we have autism, it does make it harder to socialize with people, including potential partners. But that doesn't, it makes it, in other words, what I'm trying to say is, no, I'm not going to edit this shit. But what I'm trying to say is, just because you have autism, it isn't impossible to find. Just because you have autism, it's not impossible to find a partner. Just really hard. But it can be done. I've done it multiple times. Probably the most textbook stereotype about autism is that we lack empathy for others. And I love this one so much because, I started Green Autism, the channel, and eventually the other projects you'll see down the line, as a way to help others like me suffering from autism, depression, or really any other kind of mental disorder. And if I lacked empathy for people, why would I have created this? That one has been disproven so much. Even people on multiple different levels of autism have shown to have empathy for others. We can also understand others' emotions. That's not a problem. Maybe a little bit harder to read, but we can still understand what kind of emotion somebody else is feeling. This one can be one of the most hurtful out there because it makes us seem, dehumanized, like we don't care about anything but ourselves, which can't be further from the truth. Number 6, that we are all the same. Oh God, this one can't be furthest from the truth. As I said, people with autism are individuals, same as that of a neurotypical. An autistic person could have more in common with a neurotypical than they would have with another autistic in terms of personality, likes, interests, habits, things like that. So just because you have autism doesn't automatically mean you're the same as that other dude or chick with autism. I myself have met quite a few autistics, and we are not even close to the same personality-wise, habit-wise, or anything like that. We're all different. We're all humans. I actually had a relative of mine who actually thought that, even though they know I have autism. They didn't mean it in a way of malice, more so a way that they don't understand, basically. So I don't take that as an insult from him type of thing, but yeah, he thought we all had unique, special talents, which a lot of people with autism do. But to say that we're just all the same as the other is completely a stupid thing to say, because again, like the others, it can't be further from the truth, really. Here's another good one. The people with autism tend to be violent. No. Nope. In multiple studies they've done that I've seen, people with autism are scientifically proven to be no less violent than, say, a neurotypical would, percentage-wise. Although, yes, you do have your curveballs in those statistics here and there, but this one's been proven false by science. A lot of these have been proven wrong on this list anyway by me, somebody with autism, but this one is actual research. Then again, pretty much all of these have been debunked by science too, so what am I saying? But I know people with autism are blamed for a lot of acts of violence, say on the schoolyard or something like that, which I'm sure there probably is someone with autism out there who's done these violent things, but to say all people with autism are violent, or a high percentage, is just stereotyping. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. It's just stereotyping. This one I've seen pretty much all my life, and have had to struggle with this one. That there's a limit or a ceiling to what somebody with autism can accomplish. This one, in the same vein as the others, is far, far from true. Now, I used to believe this myself. Oh, I'm autistic, I can't do that. I can't fall in love with somebody, I can't be loved by somebody, but I'm only now just starting to realize that this isn't true at all. I'm trying to become a published writer, and a lot of my stuff has been seen by people out there in the aforementioned old Wattpad account, and people loved it. It gave me hope. I'm currently working on self-publishing a book right now. Much like a neurotypical, somebody with autism can do anything that they set their mind out to do, and I truly believe that. There have been famous people out there with autism too. A lot of famous historical figures, like Thomas Jefferson was one, Isaac Newton. Yeah, people like that. So just because you feel that you can't do anything because you're autistic, stop you. My advice here is, well, not really an advice video, but what have you. The advice I will give you, don't use your autism as a crutch. Use it as an advantage. Autism gives you certain abilities, and you can use those to your advantage to get to the top. This is my heart. 9. Autism is just a teen/child problem. I'm actually working on a series about this, fun fact. Autism is a lifelong condition. There is no quote-unquote cure for autism. I know people are researching it, but as of right now, there's nothing that can change the fact that you're autistic. Trust me, I had to struggle with that idea for years and years. But in a lot of media portrayals I've seen of people with autism, at most it's in teens. Usually people only talk about autism when it comes to children with autism, but what about the adults with autism? Depending on the severity of one's autism, autism is a lifelong thing, and it will not go away. It'll always be part of you. Your brain physiologically works much differently than that of a neurotypical, but that doesn't even have to be a bad thing. Which brings us to number 10, that autism itself is a disorder. Now this one could be a bit debated, but there's such a thing as the neurodiversity movement, which albeit can be a bit skewed because most of the people on it are that of quote-unquote high-functioning autistics, but there has been great argument made that autism isn't so much a disorder or a disease at all, more so just a different variation of the way humans think. As in neurotypical and autism, not autism is a slash from neurotypical or anything like that. There is a very good chance, and I used to struggle with this, but I firmly believe it right now in my heart that my autism is not a disorder, a disability, a disease, or anything what have you. I'm just a different kind of guy than others, and that's okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. Now before we go, as I'm going to try to do with every video, I have a mental health tip for you watchers. I'm so used to readers, I'm an author. Listening right here. Now, here's a mental health tip for you. One of the best things you can do if you're struggling with mental illness, depression, bipolar, schizophrenia maybe? I'm not sure. But one of the best things you can do is get outside and exercise. Working out in a gym can help. Working out has been proven to physiologically help your brain, like actually help it inside. But getting outside into the sun and doing this can be a greater advantage because here's the thing. Sunlight has been proven as the all-natural antidepressant, and working out in the sun can do double that for you. Just something to consider. Hope this helps, guys. Have a good day. Matt out. Peace.